Yes.
I think we're live.
Yeah, I feel like every live we start like this.
I think pretty much. Jason, are you there?
I am here. How are you
What's
guys?
up, everybody? It's Will
And Chris.
from The High Five and Knuckles Up, and we are live with none other than Jason, the Fine Wine Merlo. Damn, put that
Right.
arm down because you make me feel bad about myself. We are live on YouTube. We are live on Instagram for everyone around the world. If you're not watching, you are wrong because the High Five, as I always say, is taking over. The tsunami of purple is smashing across the globe. But more importantly, we have the Fine Wine Jason Merlo here on the live, and we are super excited because, Jason, you have a massive match coming up September 14th at Knuckles Up 4 with what we now know is the current, Chris, let him know, the current champion.
The number one of 95 kg in South Korea.
South Korean number one. So you're taking another champion on, Jay. I know the last one was a bit rough. We had our match with Mario Tambakis, right? He'll also be joining you on this card as well versus Plemen Dimitrov.
Yeah, Dimitrov.
So I'm sure there'll be some side pulling to see who's leveled up since then. But
Yeah.
back to your match, Joo Minkyung, South Korea. How are you feeling? How's training going?
First of all, thank you for having me on here, and thank you for inviting me back to Knuckles Up 4. So I feel great. Training has been going as normal. I'm one of those types of pullers where, you don't really have to worry about setting up a match for me for not being ready because I train year round. And for me, I think I manage it correctly where I'm not going to be worn out or not ready for something depending on how things go. I'm always training. I'm always trying to be on top of my game. I feel like I'm always climbing. So, yeah, nothing has stopped since my unfortunate loss with Mario.
Good to know. I know. Obviously, that was an absolute war of a match. Absolute side pressure versus absolute hand control. I've said this on many of our lives already, yeah, if you guys have never gripped up with Mr. Merlo here, the hand that he has and possesses is only getting stronger, but it makes me want to cry myself to sleep at night, Chris, because
it's the bass curls for the girls.
It's the bass curls for the girls. But we have some celebs in the house, by the way. Eduardo Tiete is live with us on Instagram. We have Joe Sandell in the house, and of course, the Pablo Derbedenev, the machine, the massive, massive man. He's a Terminator. He's everything you could ever want him to be. I just got to learn how to get as big as him and get as strong as you, Jason. But back to this match. So he is currently the 95 kg South Korean champion. Also, very cool, for those of you who do not know, he was also on the second season of Physical 100 on Netflix, which is an absolutely incredible, I guess you'd call it reality show, based out of South Korea. Very cool. Now, don't spoil it for me, Jason, because I didn't get to actually see what he placed, but I heard he did pretty decent.
I didn't either. I still got to do that.
Yeah, so no spoilers, but let's just say
he did well.
Yeah, he is definitely one of the top physiques. And to give the viewers an idea who haven't seen the show, right, the premise is they pick the top 100 athletes in South Korea and some also foreigners, different like walks of life. So you
different
have
sports, Olympians, wrestlers, baseball players, everything.
Yeah, and they test them in various what they call obstacle courses and feats of endurance and strength to see what is the overall best physique. And Jason's opponent coming up is he's made it far in the competition.
It's just pretty wild to think that the world of arm wrestling is really starting to spread further and further and further, right? Now we have somebody who's in reality a celebrity in South Korea now coming over. Soon, hopefully, we'll have Don Lee. Don, if you're listening, come on by, man. If you just don't know, Don Lee is one of the amazing actors that also is in the Eternals and all that type of stuff. But Jason, you have a large task on your hands. This is was he, correct me if I'm wrong, Chris, a previous world champion as well, right?
So he actually placed second in the world.
So second at WAF, which is also massive. Oh, I'm not going to mess this up this time. Maria is in the house. What's up, Maria and Martin? Not to be mistaken for Jablonski. Maria, Zablonski is in the house.
And actually, Jay, sorry to interject. You do have a call out here by a common viewer of ours, James Clark. I don't know if you remember him from the Arnold about
Ooh.
2 years ago. Yeah, super strong left-handed. Hopefully, we can get him on a card soon.
You know, James.
Go ahead to pull him.
James, I'm just gonna say, the left arm is Jason's better arm. I'm just saying.
Interesting though. I'm curious, like in terms of better because of like, which could be, you know, a topic, right? Like, is it better because more people compete right, or is he more balanced than other pullers?
We're speculating. Let's ask the man that's sitting in front of us now, Jason. From what we know, right, your left is better than your right. Is that so, or are they just different? Is it a health thing? Like, what's happening there?
A few things. One, yes, they are different. The right and the left are completely different arms for me. Two, I think what really spurred it was a healthy thing. Back in 2017, I hurt my right, and it took some time to recover, and it's had a nagging injury in my elbow for quite some time. And I'd say the past year and a half to 2 years now, my right started really actually getting healthy so that I could compete at a level that I feel like is knocking on the door at some people. So I think because of all that time, my left just stayed healthy and progressed so much more than my right. Now, I also think it is a question of, you know, people don't put as much significance on the left arm. There's just that stigma with the left arm. I think there's a certain level of that as well with, you know, the importance that people put on it. So I think because of that, my left might seem like at a higher level than my right because of that. So I think it's a combination of both for the reason why. But yes, like James Clark. Absolutely.
Hey, here's a better one, right? We should say, well, James, you should come to Knuckles Up 4.
Mm-hmm. He's close by.
He's
I think he said
far.
He lived in the Cape, which I'm super jealous
of. If you're on the Cape, come over, and there's going to be an after poll, and you can test yourself, you know?
Yeah, I heard Plemons also very strong.
I've heard we have some ridiculous pollers, and they all are better than me. So another couple shout outs. Pedro's in the house, Troy, Bellwood, the Peruvians, Armwrestling and World NJ, and Luigi's Barber is also here. Gary, he is here as well. So yes, and Gary, one of our amazing sponsors of Knuckles Up 4. We couldn't do it without him. We thank you so much. But Jason, so big match. Joo Minkyung coming over right now. They have obviously established themselves at Knuckles Up. When I say they, I mean South Koreans, right? We've had Baek Sung-yul. Ji Min had a really tough match against Toshiyuki, and Toshiyuki will also be coming back. So, you know, these Asian pullers that we're having come over, you know, it's really exciting for us because we're finally getting the world to see, you know, what these other countries can do.
Sorry.
I'm sorry. Did I miss something? Oh, my bad. Oh, is he talking about Tiete?
Yeah.
Oh, man. Jeez. Ugh. You know, they're putting me off the rails here, Chris. But these lives just keep getting better and better, and we appreciate this. So if you guys haven't subscribed to our channel, you're wrong. But so Jay, all these guys are coming over now. Obviously, you're climbing up the ranks. You know, you're trying to take them down one by one. But is there any way we can do you more justice? Is there any pullers that you've been following? Let's just say you take the victory, right? Who's on the radar of the fine one?
Look, I guess that's whether you ask the question whether it's right or left-handed, because I think there's two different paths.
Well, so all right. Well, what's itching you right now? What are you looking for?
Look, to be honest, I'm looking for whatever everybody else wants to see.
Oh,
you know,
I get it. You want to slap Artem Silly. Gotcha. Okay.
Confirm or deny.
I mean, I'm just saying. I've heard rumors that he could just, you know, supposedly whoop you in a super match, but that round robin would say otherwise. Sorry, I don't mean to interrupt, Jason. Just keep going.
Left arm.
I still think.
Look,
sorry, I'm just gonna say Merlo's gonna whoop his ass, but that's okay. Artem, if you're listening, how you doing, bud?
But I think Artem has gotten a lot better since the last that I've gripped up with him, though. I really think he has leveled up. I think he does a really good job with promoting himself and getting all the hype on him. And I think, the calls go to him because of his following and his social media following, and rightfully so. So that's fine. Look, I've been saying this my entire career, and this is not to anybody specifically. It's a true statement. The longer people wait, the worse it is going to be for them. That's all. So I understand the virtue of patience. I can practice it. I'll continue to wait. It doesn't matter. I'm just going to get stronger. So I'll wait, and I'll sit here. And when I get my opportunity, it's probably going to be too late. That's all I'll say.
Yeah. Now, I know I interrupted, so I apologize. But let's just say, like I said, if you're itching, is there anyone that sticks out in your mind? Maybe would you want the rematch with Mario, or is there someone else that maybe just kind of popped in your head recently?
Look, Mario. I'm glad that I pulled Mario for a few reasons. One, I don't think Australia was getting enough props that they actually deserved. Look, I had a feeling of where Mario's level was at, and I knew this was going to be an extremely hard test, especially. I didn't realize how heavy he was starting at cutting. I thought he was cutting down from like possibly 230 or so. Then when I heard like 242 and more, I'm like, oh no, this is a fucking mistake. And but at that same time, like I like that challenge. I knew coming into that match on paper, a lot of people picked me more as the favorite on paper, and I said this in one of the live stream interviews. If this were Vegas odds, with everybody thinking that I'm the favorite, I would have put money on Mario. I think the smart money would have been on Mario on this, just knowing he's the bigger dude cutting down at that weight level. Like that, and he's on the climb. Like I knew deep down that I was that underdog, and it was going to be a tough match for me, and it proved it rightfully so. Like Mario was too much for me, and I don't need to touch Mario again for any time in the future. Like I can let him be in his heavier weight class. Like I'm fine with him being in his heavier weight class. I want to focus more on people that are at my weight now. And look, Joo Minkyung is at my weight right now. So I am very interested in this. And this is something that definitely excites me because, I'm also going into this match with a lot of unknown. Like, there's you can learn a little bit about these pullers from different countries where you might not have as much data as you would an American puller. Somebody in Europe, or anywhere where we have our explosion of arm wrestling in Turkey, like any of those pros, you can find so much data on. I feel like there's going to be a lot that I have to guess and prepare for. So this is a different type of challenge for me, where I'm more so thinking that I'm pulling more of an unknown puller that I am unfamiliar with. So I have to make a decision on how I'm going to train and take it from there, and then let my table IQ take off from the night that I start to pull him at the table.
Yeah, 100%. We have another couple of celebs in the house, of course. My beautiful fiance, No Sweat Steph. What's up? Ave is also from the team. Old City Cafe in the house. Yeah, and you had just mentioned people from Australia. I believe if he's still on, give us a thumbs up. The new up-and-comer Rickard Bornman from Australia has joined on Instagram. Now, all I can say is this guy, it's all hearsay. But from what I hear, he is going to be making some moves in this sport. Ryan speaks nothing but some crazy things, and I just hope I can feel the power of him one day on the table. But it's definitely right. You're going to have to lay down your skills. You're going to definitely have to play this match smart, Jason. Now, of course, I'm assuming because Marcio will be there pulling Jordan, I believe. Will Marcio be in your corner as well again?
For sure, yeah. If he wants to, that's for sure. If he's good with doing that, then absolutely. That's in the management world, we like to use our resources properly. That's a really good fucking resource to have in my corner. So if Marcio was able to be there for me, more power to him, and that helps me out a lot.
100%, 100%. Yeah, no, we're really excited about it. Obviously, guys, if you're just joining in right now, number one, please, if you are on YouTube, please subscribe. That would be super helpful for us. And of course, September 14th, Knuckles Up 4. It is going down at the Barrymore Film Center in Fort Lee, New Jersey once again. So if you're in the tri-state, Jason, what do they got to do? They got to get their asses in the seats, right?
That's right. Because it's an experience.
Yeah.
It is an experience that everybody, I'm telling you, once you see it once, you're not going to want to miss it.
Yeah, it's going to be absolutely wild. Now, Jason, you've now been pulling, and I know you're going to be asked this a million times with all of your interviews, but how many years officially have you been, quote unquote, on the competitive circuit of arm wrestling?
So I guess a little over 8 years now.
8 years. And then Chris, you're around 9, right?
No, actually.
Or about the same time, right?
So Jay actually started a few months before me, I think, right?
Yeah, I started September of 2015 is when I started with Beast Mode.
Yeah, I want to say mine was closer to December, January.
Okay, very cool. Very cool.
Obviously, January the next year.
That's awesome. That's fantastic. So many years in the sport, right? But I think one thing I really want to touch on, and it's very important, not just for your match coming up, but for your future years, is how you mentioned is the longer that they wait, the worse it will be.
That's right.
And it brings up a very important subject that I think a lot of people, I want to say, are slightly afraid to talk about. But I like to talk about it from an educational perspective. Is they're trying to take the shortcuts. They're trying to do the supplementation, everything to push themselves so much further, so much faster, right? And I think this sport specifically is one that if you just take the time, right, you will get so much better and for so much longer, right? And it's just yourself is just a testament, to being, taking your time, many years on the table. Chris, obviously, Chris, everyone knows is my coach, and he's got an elbow of iron, as I like to say, and Jay's got an iron hand. So if you guys are listening, take the high road, take your matches slower, and grow with the sport, right? And because of that, then you'll find yourself in a place like Jason is here, where now he can, knock on these international athletes and really start to make a name for himself, right? So now, bass curls for the girls. Just let the people know, for the people who are new, Jason, obviously you love fishing. You're a fisherman at heart, right? But
I am.
Do you truly believe, like, in all seriousness, that the fishing actually made you stronger for arm wrestling?
Look, everybody swears by this. When I first came to the arm wrestling table, people asked, like, do you do construction? Like, are you physical labor? Like, what do you do? Like, why is your hand so strong? And I'm like, no, I'm in the construction industry. I'm a project manager. Like, that's what I do. I'm in the office. I don't do any hands-on work. I was always a competitive person. I lifted weights. I played basketball. Like, I did all this stuff. But no, and just diving more and more into it, everybody swears it's from fishing. Everybody swears it's from fishing.
We need to go on a trip. I've been saying it. I'll fish every weekend if it has to be.
I'm not catching much, so I don't know if the fish is going to help me.
You can put a cinder block at the end of that thing, and I'll just keep reeling it up and down if that's what's going to make it work.
Honestly, seeing the fish that Jason catches, I think they're bigger than cinder blocks. They look like actual leviathans of the sea.
That is absolutely wild.
It's kind of ridiculous.
No, that's crazy. And we also saw, if you go back a little bit further, someone actually had mentioned, so guys, we are going to be hosting once again the Arnold Classic Arm Wrestling. We are bringing it back this year, so we are very excited about that. People like Jason will hopefully be coming for some super matches, some round robins, and then anybody else that is interested, we're going to have qualifiers all over the United States. Go to thehigh5aw.com and check out all of the upcoming tournaments that are in your area. And it'll be definitely worth it. Oh, Roger Learn joined the chat as well. What's happening, Roger? Hope you're doing well, brother. But now, Jason, you have this match on September 14th, right? Joo Minkyung is going to be a best-of-5 right arm. How do you think, if you had to guess, this is just in the studying you've done of his style, as much as you could learn, obviously, right? It's not easy to get a ton of footage on this guy, but
yeah.
If you were to guess, what do you think it'll play out as? Is it going to be a 2-3? Is it going to be a back and forth? Are you going to shut him out? What do you think?
On this one, I think it's going to be a 3-1 victory to me. And the reason why I think it's 3-1 to me is I'm going to try. I think with the little information that I have with Joo Minkyung, with that little information, I'm going to try something round one that I want to test something out with him and see where he's actually at. So that's where I'm putting myself at. The possibility of just seeing how round one goes. And then I know I can adjust after that. And then I'm pretty confident that I'll be able to take away three wins after that if round one doesn't pan out the way I plan on it happening.
Interesting.
Definitely cryptic, but
yeah, very cryptic. But
we do have a question in the chat real quick from Levi from Savage Arm Wrestling.
Levi's in the house. What's happening,
So his question is, if you could call anyone and the match would happen, who would you call out?
That's a really good question. I'll say this. I used to have a list of guys specifically. I still have, I want to say, like a cloud of people that I want to shoot for, and it's like throw a dart, I'll pull any of them. And then even if somebody wants to call me out, like sure, we can make that happen. As I've started, or as I've been getting these opportunities from you guys to pull certain guys at the events, it's more so turned to who does everybody want to see me pull? Who do you guys want to see me pull? And I've kind of lost sights on who I really want to pick if I were to shoot a dart and pick somebody. I don't think it really matters.
Question for this. I think he's evading this question.
I'm not evading any question.
Come on, give us a name, Jay. The people want to know. Who is it? Is it Marcio? Is it Paul Lynn? I don't know. Come on, let's just put. I'll put it really simple. Chris and I magically found $50,000, and we can just literally pay for any athlete of all time, dead or alive. Who would it be? Go.
That's look, there are guys out there that I say have a lot of prestige in the sport, and I think that has morphed and changed over time, especially with who has been up and coming on East versus West stage. But look, like I have a general list of guys like that I want to shoot for. Like there's like the guys in the US, like there's the Ardems, there's the Craig Tulliers, there's even Robbie Russell, because Robbie has the last win on me.
That's right.
Guys like that in the 198 pound class, I want to pull them all. I want an opportunity to pull all of them, every single one of them. And that's what I want to eventually get the opportunity to do. Any order, I don't care. I don't care about being number one. I don't care about protecting being number one. I want to get an opportunity to pull all of those guys that are at that level and feel everybody out, because I know I'm in that mix. And when I get those opportunities, I will show everybody that I belong in that mix. And that's the bottom line. Bottom line, I belong there, and I know I can surprise a lot of people. And I know there are people that are going to strategically avoid me because, one, I'm quiet. Two, I have so much less social media than other people. And three, there's so much risk against them that they're not going to make money on that type of match. And I understand that. But when it comes down to the raw talent and ability, there are people that are going to avoid me because they know I'm a problem for them. They know I'm a problem for them. That is the truth. I'm going to give you the raw truth. That is the truth. They know I'm a problem. They're the ones that are going to dilly-dally around the bush.
Yeah.
That's the bottom line. So all of them, give me all of them at some point in my career. I want all of them.
I think what he's saying is that the Arnold, we need to have a 198 round robin. That's what he's saying.
Definitely. That'd be interesting.
We do have a question here from Red Cat Man. And she's asking, Jay, what are you weighing right now?
Right now, so So for my match against Mario, that was the heaviest I've ever been, and that was me eating like an absolute savage. Absolute savage. I think the day of or the night of, I weighed 208. Right now, I'm sitting comfortably in the mornings around 204 right now, which is the heaviest, I'd say, like comfortable sitting weight I have been sitting at ever. It's a steady like 204 right now. And I think that's perfect for me setting up my match with Joo Minkyung because 93 kilos is the cap weight and that's 205. So I'm sitting perfect. And I think it's a really strong weight for me because I feel the power that I'm able to generate just with my lifts and everything that I've been able to do on the table. And, I'm excited because I feel like there's a lot of progress for me at this weight. And even so, look, there might be a time where I have to cut down to 198 and, I'm not happy about cutting down. I'm definitely not happy because that's something that I've always wanted to avoid. But I feel like that is just something that is going to naturally come back down once I really pick up the cardio and stop doing my, breakfast loading of a lot of protein that I've been doing. So I think that weight can be adjusted.
Yeah, and we're not talking about a massive amount of weight, right? Like if you had to do, like a couple hours,
it's 6 pounds.
Yeah, a couple hours of a sauna session, or go on a fast for 2 days, you'll make that weight and replenish right away, which is great that you have that flexibility. But the people in the chat here are saying the opposite, Jay. They're saying that you need to call them out because that I'm assuming it's the reason why they're saying it's because it's kind of unfortunately the way the arm wrestling world has developed. It's no longer, you go to a tournament, you see where you're at. It's really, like you said, social media has kind of become the king, and you got to point the finger and say, hey, I'm going to beat you.
Look. Bottom line, because I see a lot of people talking about Artem. Look, there's going to be one day where I'm going to surprise Artem in Florida, and then he's going to say, "Oh, I'm not going to do the 198-pound class. I'm going to do the unlimited class," and I'm going to say, "Fuck yeah, I'm going to do the unlimited class too." And then he's going to probably change his weight. You know what? I want to go back down to the 198. And then I'm just going to give him all my money, and I'm saying I'm doing every class. And then if he doesn't enter the tournament after all of that, then we know our answer. So like there's eventually going to be those opportunities where I'm going to do that, and I'm not going to let people know that I'm going to do that. I'm just going to surprise them. It's going to happen. So like I said, and I'm okay with being patient. Like I'll let this drag on for a little bit. There's no problem with that. There's no problem.
I love it. That's fantastic. No, it's true. And you really sometimes people's mouths talk, but they don't walk the walk, and we'll just leave it at that. But there will be obviously more opportunities for all that. And one thing you actually had mentioned, and it's actually very exciting because I think the after polls at this card might be some of the most insane after polls. Because just think about it. Jay, you had mentioned you'd love to have a match with Craig Tullier.
Yeah, Robbie.
He'll be there with Robbie Russell. Yeah. He'll be there with Bowen. Someone mentioned he'll be there. James Walt will be there.
There's a lot.
Is gonna be there. Like it's just like Svetan's gonna be there. Like it's like
yes, like all of this. Yes, these are all excellent hands to pull.
Wild. It's gonna be wild.
That athlete picked like secret match.
Oh man, we're gonna have. I think so. For guys, if you don't know, you got to come in person, or you have to subscribe to our premium YouTube channel, become a member, because we are putting up our secret matches that we had that no one has seen. Jason's actually been a part of 2 of them, or was it 3 of them?
2.
2 of them. 2 of them. And so the athletes, they talk to each other, and they decide who wants to pull. But we're going to leave it to you guys as well, our premium members, to also put a poll together if you want to see. So I think we might have to do 2. Just like the last one, we have to do 2 because there's so many good. Like, I don't even. Oh my god! Like,
I think one thing though that we need to take into consideration is the match, like that they actually
have. Like, are they going to be dead?
Exactly, because Toshi ended up pulling BJ, and you guys watched that match, but it was definitely tough for Toshi.
Yeah,
he had a banger with Ji Min.
He had an absolute war.
Yeah, no, you're right. Like that is important for putting together a really good match for, the second secret match. Depending on how they go in their matches, even though it's the opposite arm, look, that's going to drain a lot of energy from them if they have a war. Like, regardless, it's going to affect the outcome of the other arm. So, yes, that is important for putting together definitely a good match for that second secret match.
I might even want to see some jumping of weight classes here, right? Like
That's definitely open.
you know what I'm saying? Like I can
Yes.
Mario, right? Mario's the type of guy that he'll be like, oh yeah, I'm game. Like, let's fucking go. And he'll be like,
say it just like that.
you know what I mean? And so he'll be like, oh yeah, I'll pull Svetan, why not? Or like Jordan, yeah, let's give it a whirl, right?
Which actually, so speaking of, you've been able to pull a lot of the people on the card actually, both in super match format or in the round robin.
Yes.
Just going through some of the matches, what is your predictions in terms of for example, Robbie Russell against Svetan?
Oh my God, that is such a good unknown.
Oh my God! Thank you so much. Sorry, I don't mean to interrupt you.
I see this, the memberships.
I apologize. Carolyn, thank you so much. She just gifted 5 of our memberships. We truly, truly appreciate that. That means the world to us. Thank you so much. You. But yes, back to your predictions, Svetan and Robbie Russell.
Yeah, look, seeing what Svetan did to Craig and knowing that Craig always is an inside puller and it's very hard to not get Craig to get in his sweet spot. Mm-hmm. The fact that Svetan didn't let that happen, and I think Craig was pretty healthy and on his game at that time.
Yeah.
I think Robbie has a huge task at hand. Now, the one thing that is good with or that I think is an advantage for Robbie is a bigger guy, much taller. He's almost like a Matt Mask. When you see Matt Mask in person, he's absolutely massive. Massive. Ooh. You see Robbie, you're like, how are you 198 pounds? It's unbelievable how big Robbie is and his body type for that. So I think he has a pretty good shot of being able to get what he needs against Svetan, but he's also a slower puller. I think Robbie is the underdog in this match, to be honest with you, against Svetan.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. Yeah, a lot of people. Yeah, go ahead.
So if I were betting, I would bet on Svetan on this match.
Yeah, and a lot of the community also agrees. I think Robbie understands he's the underdog, especially because a lot of people don't realize that, you have the John Brzenk of, US being the GOAT, right? Svetan is essentially the GOAT of Europe.
Yeah.
This guy's King's move, which in some ways is not really the notorious King's move that we all know, where he's underneath the table. Svetan doesn't need to get underneath the table. His arm just doesn't open.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Right. It's literally
arm opens like this. That's
exactly.
it. That's it.
Ryan Bowen in the house. Looking forward to Jason. Jason, you and Ryan should have some side pulling. I don't know. Did you get to pull with him at all?
No. Look, the last my Tom Holland match and my Mario match. My right was absolutely done. Both matches, a baby could have beat me at the after pull on the right arm.
Remind me to pull Jason after his match.
But yeah, I hope it stays healthy after the match, because I do want to get the opportunity to pull a lot more of these guys to at least feel some of the things, to just see if there's potential. And honestly, look, I think there's a lot of potential for a lot of good matches that I could have, especially with the lineup of guys that are coming out for Knuckles Up 4.
Well, so
I think it's good.
One I definitely want to get your opinion on. I know Chris has one he wants to get your opinion on too, but because there's a lot of interesting chatter around it, and Ryan actually happens to hopefully still be watching, is Ryan's match with Andre Shark. Now, the community has said, it's a mismatch. There's no way. What are your opinions of that match? And be honest. Be completely honest.
I'll be honest. I'll absolutely be honest. So there's a few things here. One, let's look at some of the data. Adam at Knuckles Up 2 really, they were longer hook pulls, but Adam was in full control of that match,
Mhm.
which was a massive surprise because right after that, I feel like Andre just took off
Oh yeah.
with his
100%.
progression. Right after, like literally, like right after that. So you try to get data and you try to see where it's at. Is there a cap on this weight for this match?
No.
No,
There's no
it's
cap.
open. Yep, it's open.
Yeah. He
So I
said,
know Ryan has been cutting back on his weight and hitting a different diet. So I like that. Honestly, like I think Ryan is going to be healthier. I don't know if that is going to help Ryan the way that he thinks it might for this match with Andre. Andre really looks like I don't want to touch Andre's arm anytime soon either. Like I want nothing to do with Andre. Nothing to do with Andre. Right or left, Andre, stay away from me. So I think I think Ryan is the underdog on this match, and I know that's probably popular opinion too, and but I think rightfully so. So I think Ryan really has his work cut out for him, especially with trying to be a little bit leaner and healthier. I think Ryan, when he pulled,
Beck
who
Sung-yeol.
was Baek Sung Yeol, yes, like that version of Ryan might have had a shot of cracking Andre's hand or doing
Ooh,
some damage over time into Andre's hand through the rounds to be able to get what he needs. So I don't know if his approach with him dropping a little bit of weight is good. Long term for Ryan to be healthier, I think it is good, but for Andre, I don't think it's good. So I think he's cutting himself short here.
Yeah, it's definitely going to be tough for sure. I think just as you are, right? I think Ryan is definitely going to try to be as much of a tactician on the table as possible. Let's just say he's been reaching out to the appropriate people to learn many tricks and many things to be able to crack that wrist back. So I hope it works for him just because I want to see a great match. Now, Chris, would you like to? Oh, go ahead. Sorry.
I'll tell you one thing about Ryan, which I can't figure out how he does, and I even mentioned this at Knuckles Up 2 with him, which I want to learn more about. He has an uncanny ability to get so high and so into the fingers of his opponent without capping the thumb knuckle. Like it's unbelievable how high and how he can set up like perfectly against his opponent. That's something that I feel like there's almost like nobody that can get as high into the hand as Ryan can. And look, that's his shot, I think. I would also like to see Ryan, if he was heavier, like I would want him full commit inside against a guy like Andre. I think that might be the ticket to figuring out something as opposed to going through Andre's hand, because Andre's hand is absolute iron.
Yeah, I think it's, and we talked about this before when we had Andre on, right? It's a lot about he's just kind of posting hammer strength, like just straight back pressure, which is absolutely incredible. So maybe that is his Achilles heel, right? We saw that, like you said, with Adam, like maybe forcing him into a hook and then rolling out or something like that, could be a way. So Ryan, if you're listening, it's okay. It's a free tip from me. Just slam him in and then roll back out. Pull a Marcio and Pablo. Like
speaking of, actually, what do you think about the Marcio and Jordan match?
Oh, that is an excellent match. Oh my God. I can't wait to see that match. Like that is, both are going to be hyped up. We already know how Marcio is when he gets on the table.
Oh yeah.
We know the energy Marcio brings. Yeah, of course. But we know the energy that he brings. He's different. He is a different human being when he's pulling. Completely different. And that is an absolute spectacle. Like that is a gift for people to see Marcio in person pull at that level. It's just you don't understand the energy that you feel when you see him pull, and when he's successful, it's just dynamite.
Oh, yeah.
And I think Jordan is going to be able to match that energy. So like, I want to see this clash. I really do. I really want to see this clash. And I think I think Marcio has his work cut out for him. Like, I think he's got some serious he's got some leverage issues to work around with Jordan. Jordan is tall, Jordan has a long arm, and Jordan likes to hook.
Mhm.
And I feel like that's not something Marcio is going to be able to get away with, and I feel like he's going to have to figure out a ticket in Jordan's strong sweet spot, how to navigate through that. And he's got his work cut out for him. He
Oh, yeah.
really does. He's got to be absolute A game for Jordan here. He's got to be.
Maria,
I don't think he's going to be able to go through his hand.
Thank you so much, Maria. Maria just gifted 5 more of our memberships. We truly appreciate that. That's absolutely awesome. But yes, Jason, you are right. I think, Pablo's match with Marcio, which was the last time Marcio was on Knuckles Up, was a phenomenal match. I mean, it ended the night crazy. But you're right. I didn't see Pablo kind of get revved up at all. He kind of was just in it and kind of zoned in, right, in a good way.
Yeah.
But he's not the type of person to, get crazy.
Exactly.
As for Jordan, he's what, 27?
I think he's 28.
Oh, he's
which is kind of depressing.
Yeah, exactly. You're telling me, Chris. But he's 28. He's young. He's hungry, and he can get energetic.
Yeah.
I don't know if you guys remember, anybody watching, about, I want to say a year and a half to 2, maybe it was 2 years ago now. He had a left-handed match with Devin in Canada.
Yeah, and Sanders.
Yes, and that was those were some great matches.
Yeah.
High energy. It was really intense. So I will say this. I'll give you guys a little inside scoop. I was talking with Marcia the other day. He came to the gym. We had a chit chat for about a couple things, and he's really excited about the match, but he is not taking it lightly at all because he knows, like you said, Jay, about the limbs, the length, the inside, and that he's not Jordan is not afraid to go there at all. And for his build, that's rare. Yeah, right. Most guys built like that, they want to go outside, they want to control the hand and do stuff like that. So. It's going to be interesting. We also have Dan the Nightmare in the house. What's up, brother? All you guys, if you haven't already subscribed to the channel, please do. We truly appreciate that. Now, Jay, we'll be on for a few more minutes. First of all, thank you so much, obviously, for hopping on. Everybody who's on Instagram, YouTube, guys, thank you so much for the support. We couldn't do it, obviously, without you. And I know it's another annoying plug, but September 14th, Knuckles Up 4. Get the pay-per-view. That'll be live soon. And, of course, in-person tickets will be going out later this week as well. So it's going to be absolutely crazy. Now, before we wrap things up, which match, I'm assuming it's Marcio's, but are there any matches out of the card that just, like, when you saw that they were announced, you were like, ooh, I got to watch that one?
Look, I think, yes, for sure. The Marcio Jordan is rightfully so the main event. Like, there is absolutely no question about that. I am definitely interested in seeing the Craig and James Wall.
Yeah.
I think that is an interesting match that I didn't see coming. And I think Craig brings a certain amount of intensity, and so does James. And like that, I feel like is going to be a nice hook war that we need to see. It's almost like look, Craig's extremely fast hook against James's. James has a lot of power, and he's very eager to show that and get up to the stage and really display what he has. So I'm pretty interested to see that. And another reason for that is because I know that James wants to pull me. He's been chomping at the bit for that. Like, that's, I want to see what he has in store here. And like I said, I think James poses a lot of problems for me when it comes to him calling me out, but I would have no problem with that as well. Completely no problem.
That'd be a great match, especially after him pulling RVJ. I think like that kind of proved that if you sleep on him, he will definitely take you in the hook, and he's going to win.
He's another one of those guys, kind of similar to yourself, where he flies like kind of in the middle of the radar. Like he's a great puller, but people talk about him here and there, but he's not the talk of the town, right?
Right.
Which is like a sweet spot, that you want to be in, right? You always want to be ready when the challenge comes, but you don't want to be, in people's faces. So that would be killer. Now, you saw or most people here saw the photo, but Chris, we got to show the people. They have come in, they have arrived. The medals for the Arnold are officially here. Super sweet.
Yeah, those are for all of the Arnold qualifiers.
All of the Arnold qualifiers going all over the U.S. We have obviously our silver, bronze, and gold. We're super proud about those. So yeah, I know, Jay, unfortunately you can't compete at the Arnold, but you can compete obviously in one of our round robins. We have some special stuff planned for you and for anybody else at your level. So we're super, super pumped about that.
Look, I'm ready to take names and make a statement. So give me that stage and I'll make it happen.
That's it. That's what I'm talking about. Well, guys, I think that's just about it for us tonight. Once again, September 14th, Knuckles Up for the fine wine. Jason Merlo will be playing against Joo Minkyung. Didn't mess that up? Perfect. And it's going to be an absolute war of a match. And I believe either tomorrow or the next week, we're going to be announcing our women's match.
Yeah, actually pretty soon. Yeah, probably by this week.
This week we'll be we're just finalizing all the details, and I will just say it is international and it's going to be wild. So stay tuned.
And
for
if I can interrupt, like,
yes, 100%.
It's amazing the fact that I get an opportunity to pull a guy who has won a lot more money than me at arm wrestling. Like that is awesome.
Mm-hmm.
That is awesome. The fact that this guy is at a stage and at a level where he has made a significant amount of money. These are guys that I want to pull. Like, these are guys that I want the opportunity to pull, because there is a certain level of them stamping their names at this level that if I get that opportunity, like, look, I get to show people some of the stuff that I have to offer here. And that is awesome. That is a really good thing for me. So I'm really appreciative of that opportunity against Joo Minkyung.
Yeah, and to that point, how can people find you? Social medias, please. Like, what are your handles?
Look up Jason the Fine Wine Merlo. You'll be able to see it. And look, the truth of the matter is like, I wouldn't be able to do it without the dedicated, like, I have a very small fan base that is growing, but they're so dedicated and they are so behind me. And that's what I love. Like, I love that commitment to backing me up. Like, they will back me up to the nth degree on social media. I don't have to say anything. They're the ones that'll do all the talking for me. And I just want to be the guy that wants to just, I'll show the results. Get me the invite, I'll do the results. I don't need to do the talking up front. So without everybody else's support, like, I am forever grateful for everybody's support who actually believes in me and the talent that I have. And it has been an honor to be able to bring to the stage that forefront, that everybody wants to push me to the forefront and show a little bit of what I have to offer. And without your support, guys, like, it wouldn't be possible. So thank you for being a loudmouth out there for me. And yeah, continue to support me. Follow my social media and keep asking me questions, because I'll engage with all of that, because like I said, don't have a lot of that. But I plan on continuing to build slowly but surely.
That's it, guys. That's it for us here at the HQ or the house, whatever you want to call it.
Until we get an actual office.
Until we get an actual office. We're working from home. But you know what, guys? We're here doing it for each and every one of you. Just as Jason said, we appreciate all of the support. Thank you. Comment, subscribe, and we will see you in the next couple of days with one of our other athletes. And you'll see that announcement soon. So, guys, that is it for us. Jason, thank you, brother.